Hotep, hey, this is Michael. I'm Hotep, founder of the African History Network, host of the African History Network show. I'm a talk show host, researcher, lecturer, writer, and historian. So it is Wednesday, September 14th, 2022, and I'm getting ready to teach class number one of a very exciting 8-week online course called From the Civil War to the Civil Rights Movement and Black Power, 1865 to 1968. So I wanted to let everybody know that we have the information here in the thread of the broadcast. You can register for this 8-week online course. We're doing Thursdays, normally, and deal with history in 1803 with the Louisiana Purchase and the Haitian Revolution. Events are related, and we go throughout history quickly and look at the Civil War, what leads up to the Civil War taking place, Civil War, Reconstruction, 1865, 1877, Jim Crow era, World War I, World War II, Great Migration, 1915 and 1917, 1915 and 1970. Yes, 6 million African Americans migrate out of the South up north and out west. And we go through and look at this history in depth, okay, chronologically from 1803 to 1968 to understand what happened to us after slavery ended. What were the laws and policies put in place to put us where we are today to understand where we need to go from here? Okay, so we have the link to the class here in the thread of the broadcast. We do the sessions live. All the sessions are archived and recorded. You can go back and watch it anytime. So we also have at the on the homepage of our website as well, AfricanHistory.com and theAfricanHistoryNetwork.com. So here's one of the reasons why this type of information is so important, this period of time. Leading up to the Civil War, we'll deal with things like the Missouri Compromise of 1820, Texas winning its independence in 1836, Mexican-American War, 1846, 1848, Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, 1848, which ends the Mexican-American War, Compromise of 1850 as well, that includes the Future of the Slave Act of 1850. But here's one of the reasons why this class and this type of information is so important. If we look at this article that came out June of 2020, January 2022, a new report finds that 45 states are failing to teach students about the period that shaped race relations after the Civil War. And this is from TimeMagazine.com, January 12, 2022, a year and 6 months after the January 6th insurrection. It says, in the aftermath of the insurrection a year ago at the U.S. Capitol, many leading historians drew parallels between the violence and the Reconstruction era, the period of political revolution directly following the American Civil War. Quote, the events we saw reminded me very much of the Reconstruction era, 1865 to 1877, and the overthrow of Reconstruction, which was often accompanied or accomplished, I should say, by violent assaults on elected officials, which is what a lot of what we saw January 6th, and we saw them looking to attack elected officials. We saw them attacking police officers, these domestic terrorists, and we've seen an increase in threats on elected officials as well. This was said by Eric Fahn, a Pulitzer Prize-winning historian and author of Reconstruction, America's Unfinished Revolution, 1863 to 1877. He said this in an interview with the New York magazine published a week later. Now, he's one of the top historians when it comes to the Reconstruction era. And the Reconstruction era is a very important period in the history of this country, but it's taught very little. And this is what this study shows. It's taught very little. And this is after the Civil War ends and African Americans are making strides. We are acquiring land. We are building businesses, getting elected to public office. You have the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments to the U.S. Constitution. Now, scholars say studying the aftermath of the Civil War can help put in context many of the most seminal events in recent years, from the brutal murder of George Floyd by police officers, by Derek Chauvin, Minneapolis, Minnesota, May 25th, 2020, to the voter suppression laws enacted after African Americans played a big role in helping Joe Biden and Kamala Harris be elected president and vice president in 2020. 16.9 million African Americans voted for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, but it was 9.7 million Latinos and 49 million white people. But despite the timeliness of the era, in today's climate, many students in American schools will not get a full education on Reconstruction until they get to college. Most of them are not going to go to college. In social studies standards, for 45 out of 50 states in the District of Columbia, discussion of Reconstruction is partial or non-existent. Discussion of Reconstruction is partial or non-existent. Well, you can't understand the voter suppression laws today. You can't understand the racism today. You can't understand the attempt to suppress the African-American vote until you understand the Reconstruction era, and also the rewriting of state constitutions during Reconstruction to give rights to African-Americans. And then during the Jim Crow era, after Reconstruction ends in 1877, with the Compromise of 1877, we see the white supremacists rewriting the state constitutions to impose poll taxes and literacy tests and property ownership requirements, grandfather clauses, things like this, to suppress the African American vote and put restrictions on the rights of African Americans as well. According to historians who reviewed how the period is discussed in K through 12 social studies standards for public schools nationwide, in a report produced by the education nonprofit Zen Education Project, the study's authors say they are concerned that American children will grow up to be uninformed about a critical period of history that helps explain why full racial equality remains unfulfilled today. So what we deal with in this class is from that period of time, 1803, up to through now, to understand how we got to where we are today, to understand where we need to go from here. This helps you better understand laws and policies, economic empowerment, history, so we can use this information to empower ourselves. So the class is on sale, $80, regularly $130. We have the information here in the thread of the broadcast. Do a PowerPoint presentation. We have book references, articles, video clips. And as soon as you register, you can join us in class today, because I'm getting ready to start teaching this class at our online school. It's not here on Facebook or YouTube. We do the sessions live. All the sessions are archived and recorded. You can go back and watch it anytime. So a year from now, 2 years from now, you can go back and watch the entire class. You don't have to be present in class to watch it. I don't take attendance either. There's no final exams, anything like this, okay? From the Civil War to the Civil Rights Movement and Black Power, 1865 to 1968. Just click right here for register here, and it takes you to the next page, and click on enroll. Click on enroll on the next page, and there's bonus content also. And then the class that I teach on Thursdays, is called Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Maafa, Understanding the Transatlantic Slave Trade, what they didn't teach you in school. So class number 1 of that just started up. We have the information on the homepage of our website also. As soon as you register for that, you can start watching the content. We have a bundle pack where you can get both classes, because the classes are regularly $130. We have a bundle pack. You get both classes for $130. You can do debit card, credit card. Click right here, register here, follow the prompts. If you've taken any of my online classes in the past, and I've been teaching them since 2017, Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Maafa, we started that in 2017. And from the Civil War to the Civil Rights Movement and Black Power, 1865 to 1968, I started teaching that one in 2021, I think it was November 2021. So I created the curriculum for all these classes. I'm a historian. I've been studying for 30 years. This is, I was going through last night, organizing everything. So this is the binder that I use. This is one binder. There's actually two binders that I use of information to teach this class. This is binder number 1. Okay, this has a lot of information in it. So we deal with a ton of information, and we go through and look at that period of history, 1803 to 1968. We go through and look at it pretty much in 20-year increments. 20-year increments each class, and there's a timeline of history that we go through and look at as well. Okay, so you can join us in class now. I'm going to post a link here. Once again, it says register here. You can register for it, and we'll see you in class. All right, look, we have to get out of here. Follow us on our Facebook fan page, the African History Network. Turn on live notifications so you know when we go live. Follow us on our YouTube channel, Michael Imhotep, Imhotep. Turn on live notifications so you know when we go live. Right now, it's correct wrong behaviors. Not over till we win. Wakanda forever.